Hey guys, what's going on? Jack here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a deck profile of Odd Eyes Magicians. Now, before we start, I'm going to simply say, yes, I know this is not the best deck in the world or the greatest deck list, but it's what I have. I will probably upgrade it at some point in the near future, but for now, this is what I have. So, without further ado, let's jump right into this. Right, so let's start off with the main deck. Obviously, this isn't exactly a expensive deck, the person that I run anyway, but you can make it expensive or as cheap as you want. So, obviously starting off with 3 Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragons. You want to see this guy as much as you possibly can, and obviously having 3 of them helps that a lot. And yes, I have quite a lot of different rarities in this deck, as this one is from the Mega Tin pack, so it's kind of like a secret kind of platinum type of thing, and the other 2 are common, but that's not important. So I have 3 of them. I run 2 plain Odd Eyes Dragons, again, you know, Odd Eyes cards, rank 7, sorry, not rank, level 7, and obviously helps to summon level 7, sorry, rank 7 XZs. 2 Dragon Pulse Magicians, 1 scale of Pendulum, so helpful. I run 1 Exangi, I think that's called, I don't even know. Basically turn ranks into levels, so also 8 Pendulum. I only want 1 of that because otherwise it just gets too cloggy. 2 Dragon Pit Magicians. Probably should run 3, but I don't like running 3. I've tried it and it just didn't really do anything for me, so I am running at 2. And next, obviously, again, 3 Skull Crabat Joker. I almost pronounced that wrong again. Obviously, the effect is when it's normal summon, you can add 1 Performer Pal or Odd Eyes monster. I'm pretty sure it's that, but obviously, I'm only using it for the Odd Eyes effect. Run 3 of them. Really good card. Will possibly get a hit in the next ban list, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Next, 3 Wisdom Eyes. Great card for searching your pendulums. Basically, if you have another Magician Pendulum in your other Pendulum zone, you can destroy this and search for another Magician to fill that slot. Great card if you haven't got the scales you want and you need to get rid of something and get something else. That makes no sense, but yeah, run that at 3. 2, quite a bit short. 3 is the sweet spot for that. Next, 2 Oath Dragon Magicians. Again, nothing too spectacular, but yeah, 2 of them because why the hell not? Next, we just have 1 Noble Dragon Magician. Obviously, just helps to get Synchro plays out. Level 3, so it helps a lot. And yeah, that's all it's really used for. I don't see the point of running any more than 1, so that's what it's staying at. Next, just kind of get another 8 scale Pendulum is Time Gazer. Nothing too spectacular, but it's there, so yeah. Next is kind of a strange one. I run a single effect Veiler. No particular reason why, but I just really like the effect, and yeah, it's just there for lols basically, and it's common as well, which makes it slightly cheaper actually. Next, I know I haven't seen many people run these personally, but I do, and that is 2 Magiceptor Unicorn Kieran. Basically, the effect is target 1 other Pendulum monster you control and target 1 monster your opponent controls, bounce them both back to hand. Very good effect. Obviously, if you have this and say Skull Crabat, you can send Skull Crabat and one of your opponent's monsters back to hand, and yeah, really good card. I actually do quite like it. I only run it at 2 because running it at 3 again is kind of cloggy and boring, so yeah. Next, I'm going to move on to traps. I kind of run a trap heavy version of this deck, which probably isn't a very good idea, but it works for me. You know, I'm not going to run like regionals or YCS with this deck, but I can run a couple of things and it just works for me. So, 1, Storming Warning. If you don't know what the effect is, go search it and to easily put it and say it. But yeah, great card-ish. Very situational, I find, actually, personally. 1 Scrap Iron, obviously flip, negate the attack, flip it back down. Can be good to stop certain attacks, well, 1 attack at least, and kind of give you other options. So, yeah. Torrential Tribute, again, not a very good card, but it works if you have no monsters and your opponent does. Like as I faced last tournament, as I found this actually did help me to win. So yeah. And then finally 2 Trap Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmares. Nothing spectacular. I just run them at 2 because yeah, why not? 2 Sky Iris. I don't have a 3rd copy. I probably won't get the 3rd copy, but it's there. It's a very, very good field spell for this deck. So obviously add 1 Odd Eyes card from deck to hand by destroying something. And yeah, very interesting actually. I do like this a lot. 2 Pendulum Claws, obviously basically discard and get 3 scales. Run that at 2. Again, because I don't actually have a 3rd copy, which is quite weird actually. But I really like it running at 2 because I don't see it that often. But yeah, it's really cool to have in this deck. 1 Sacred Swords of 7 stars. Basically just banish a level 7 from hand and draw 2 cards. I don't like to use it, but if I have the opportunity to and I kind of feel like it will help me out a lot, I will. So run that at 1, or I might take that out actually for something else, but I don't know yet. 2 Terraforming, obviously to get the 2 Sky Irises out, and that's it. Next is a strange but also a good card to run. 2 Wavering Eyes. Destroys pendulums, which can screw you over slightly, but maybe only for like 1 turn or something. But it does help, especially if your opponent's running a pendulum deck as well. Nothing much else to say, but really good card. Some people run it at 3 again, but I just like to run it at 2 because I kind of think that's a sweet spot personally for me. You can run it at whatever you like, but yeah, it's quite a good card to actually have. And finally, 3 MSTs. It's kind of a strange choice, really, but again, it's a good card for what it is, and it's very useful. Especially seems a lot of people I seem to play against run anti-meds decks, and obviously you have stuff like Anti-Spell Fragrance in it. It's just an easy way to get rid of it. Well, obviously you have to set it before you can activate it anyway. But, you know, good card to run at 3. Some people run it at 2, which I kind of understand why, but I just enjoy running it at 3. Especially if I can see it as often as I can. If I need to see it, I can see it. And now we are going to move on to the extra deck. Shark Drake, just a generic rank 4, so nothing too special. Don't really use that as much as other cards, but it's there if I want to. 2 Utopias, obviously quite generic as well. 2 level 4s, detach 1, like one material and negate an attack. It's helpful, very helpful actually. One Utopia Prime, hardly ever go into it, but again situational, and if I can, I need to, I will go into it. Two Odd Eyes Absolute Dragons, really good rank 7, quite helpful as well for OTKs, and yeah, really like this card quite a lot. Two Meteor Bursts, usually I sink into one and get the effect off, Absolute to get the other one out. Also helpful because your opponent's monsters can't activate their effects during the battle phase, and you can you can special summon one Pendulum monster from your Pendulum Zone with this kind of attack. Don't use that effect as much as the other one. Well, obviously the other one just happens anyway. But yeah, really good card if you want to. It also runs well in other decks, as I've seen in tournaments. One Dark Rebellion XYZ, nothing too special, but again, it works occasionally. One Trapeze Magician, again, a good card, because you can't take damage equal to or less than its attack, which is 2/5, and also you can detach one material and select one monster. It can make a second attack during the battle phase, which is obviously again very helpful for OTKs. And finally, a Stellar Knight Deltros, 3 level 4s, detach, destroy one monster on the field. I don't really go into this, but I have a few times, and it has actually saved me quite a bit. So yeah, alright card, I suppose, quite cheap, recommend picking it up. And that has been it for this deck profile. I know it's not the greatest, and I know this video is not also that great, but it would be really helpful if you could leave a comment with criticism and maybe how I can do better at this. And yeah, I would appreciate that a lot, guys. Not much else to say really, besides, again, you can make this as cheap or expensive as you want. I personally try to go for the cheap option, but that's just me. So yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I shall hopefully see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.